After every migrant school CCA sessions, I have been identifying my weaknesses on both leadership and communication skills. Regarding communication skills, I have been revising Mandarin for 2 hours, 2 hours a week, and I've been paying attention at Mandarin classes, identifying areas on weakness, identifying areas on pinyin, the tone in which it's spoken, etc. In regards to leadership skills, I have been observing a lot of mentors and a lot of teachers coordinating and commanding a different their students in class, and I've been showing that in my sessions.
During the process of our CAS experience, I was required to create a presentation that would fulfill the students' learning by finding words that would relate to our chosen subjects and translating them into Mandarin so the Chinese migrant students can understand what we're trying to say to them. We also created images that would teach the children what we're exactly talking about during their own learning experiences.
During our migrant school CCA, it's important for all of us to be able to communicate effectively with the students, and we recognize that the audience that we're among isn't necessarily of an equal level academically to us because English is not their first language, and we're trying to communicate to them all the skills that they have that they need to acquire in order to be able to be effective communicators in that field. And because they're children and they're a younger audience, we need to be able to adapt the way that we approach these scenarios and be able to approach them at a level which is respectful to them and that they will be able to tolerate and understand, because not only because they don't have English as a first language, but because as children we cannot treat them as someone is our age that we would. Like, we have to be able to integrate all of these ideas that they would have and approach from a scenario that would be relatively unfamiliar to us as we work alongside other IB students, and we can't use an equal level of sophisticated language. We can't approach from such a critical standpoint, but we need to be able to adapt our communicative skills to best suit our audience.
When we consider the aspects of the migrant school CCA that need to have some improvement, it would be important to focus on communication, especially between the students and the group. When talking about the students, we have this issue of language barriers where some of us do not know how to talk with the children or address their questions. And a solution that we could have to this is by learning set phrases, for example, how to answer the kids' questions or get something that they need so that they feel more safe in the environment and that they understand that it's friendly and they enjoy the lesson. And the second part of communication that we could work on is that in between the group, because we have 5 people and at times one person could be doing more work than the other, or there's just a matter of following rules that someone isn't listening to. And if we established better communication, the session would run much more smoothly and there would be less errors in how we speak to children or how presentations are made, or for example setting up of other materials. And lastly, another mistake or problem that could be solved is the way that we teach the students. So the time management is an issue as we only have around 40 minutes and we spend a lot of the lesson having the kids color instead of learning the actual English words. So it would be much more effective to set a time where the children can color and then set another amount of time for them to actually learn the English words, so there's a better balance between it all.
As a group, we have achieved several successes throughout the first term of this year in developing our organizational skills and our teaching skills as a group. So for example, we have been very organized as to getting all the station of the arts and crafts prepared before the lesson and before the kids arrive. Once the kids arrive, it is very well organized and prepared so that each and every single kid has enough material, paper, pencils, etc. to work and efficiently go through the whole lesson smoothly without having to get interrupted, to get more materials and such. As well as the materials we have prepared for the class and the lesson have been very effective, as they have very productively taught the children easy topics so that they can understand them, and we can teach them as well in an orderly manner and use all of our time very efficiently.